Okay, hi everybody. It's time today to take a look at a very simple introduction to using the Magic Loom bracelet, or whichever Loom bracelet system you might have, to make the beginner bracelet, I guess is the best way to put it. Something that just looks pretty simple. Single link here, any combination of colors, and we're going to take a look at how to do it today. So what you need is just your Loom system, just like this, whatever it might look like, as well as your little loops here. I've gone with my daughter's favorite colors, red as well as pink here, and if I counted right, we should have 13 of each, but it's really not necessary to have a specific number. Just the more that you put on, the longer the bracelet will be. In a different video, you'll be able to take a look at how to extend your bracelets and make them as long as you'd want, even if it does go beyond the length of this loom. So first off, all you need is to take your initial loop, and we've got that right here. Let's start with pink. And you're going to want to make sure that this pointing at you side is in the front and where you start. And you're going to start from the middle peg here. And you're going to go up in either of the two directions. Again, this is pretty simple. You're only going to be using 2 of the 3 columns here. So start with the middle. Take your first color and just wrap it from the middle up, and in this case to the right, to the next one right above it. And if you can take some care to try not to twist the loops, that does make sure that everything looks pretty consistent all the way across, but it's not necessary. It'll still work. Really what's important to doing all of these Loom bracelets is that you go in the right order, because there's going to be overlapping, and that's what allows these all to connect together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth, and I'm going to go pink, red, pink, red, pink, red, and we're going to go in a zigzag pattern. So we're going to follow up from the peg we just went to, on top of that with the red, back to the middle here. There you go. And you can see that the red one now is on top of the pink one, and that's what's important here. That's what's going to allow these things to attach. All right, and then from there, you're going to go back and switch it up to pink, and you're going to continue this zigzag pattern all the way up the loom until you get to however high you're going to go. In this case, we're going 13 pegs, which is almost right to the end. And when you get there, you'll follow up with the next step. So I will just put these on pretty quickly here. Red, pink. Again, make sure that they're overlapping appropriately here. You don't want the wrong one to be on top. I accidentally put that one on there, but no problem. It helps if when you go to the next one, you push down the end a little bit more so. So you can see here, I've pushed that to the bottom, so when I put the next one up, it will be on top. And then you see here, red, push it down a bit, pink, and so on. I'll just finish that up. Okay, so we've gone all the way to the end here. You can see we started, and 13 zigzags later, we're right at the end. We've left a couple pegs off, and it doesn't matter. Like I said before, you could go to the end here, but you don't have to. In this case, I stopped here because I ran out of red loops. That's the reason, and I wanted to make this a nice pattern so that nobody gets mad at me when I give it to them. So this is the part where we start to get to weave. Again, this is the simplest of the looms we can do. We haven't done any fancy tricks, but we will get to those in other videos you can look at. And you're going to have a tool like this. Might be a different color, might have a fancier handle, less fancy handle, but as long as it's got that little hook on the end, that's all you need to worry about. And what's important here, and in pretty much every bracelet or necklace or whatnot you're going to make, is you've got to turn this around now, and you're going to weave from the other side. So we started here on this end. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this around, and we're going to be working from this end. And that's really important because that's where we're going to be able to weave these up. So let's get up close here. This is the end of your loom. You can see again it's this end here. And what you need to do is you need to get under. In the second peg, you need to take right here this pink or whatever color it is. So it's the second color from the bottom here. And you're going to want to loop this over this peg here and onto the next peg. So what it's going to do is it's going to take a bit of this color with it. So here, let me show you. So you take it off of the peg and you bring it right over there and you loop it on the next peg. So what you can see is it dragged with it this red, and now the pink is sandwiching this next red between the bottom and the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to follow that same pattern all the way up for all of the remaining pegs. So here we're going to take the red, and this tool comes in really handy, and don't be worried about dragging the other colors with it. Just be really gentle and bring it over and let it go and sneak out of there. Whoop, there we go. So again, you can see it dragged the pink and it's sandwiching this pink here between these reds. And you're creating a little bit of a chain, which is the key here. One might call it a loom. So we're going to do the same thing here for all of them. Sneak in there with your tool, pull it gently over, hold down the loom if you want to, hold down this base, and you can also hold down some of the individual elastics if that helps. But you're going to do that and you're going to continue all the way up until you've reached the end. And so I'll do this a little bit quicker for you. But this is the basic approach you're going to take with all of your bracelets, is sneaking out some of these elastics from under other ones and pulling over to a different peg. Because what that does is it builds a big chain of colors that start to mesh with each other and make pretty cool patterns. And in the end, when you take it off, you'll have yourself a nice little craft. Okay, we've done all of them right up until the last one here. I'm just going to feed out this final one so that you can see you do go all the way to the end. Oh. Let me grab it. Okay, got it out of there. And now what we've got is a series of what looks like loops going back and forth. So it's a fancier zigzag, and then right at the end here, it's open. And there's a couple of different ways that you can deal with this at this point, but if you can believe it, your bracelet is already done. It just needs to be pulled off. But before you do that, there's one more piece you need. Some people call it a C-clip, some people call it an S-clip, which all the ones I've got look like S's. So that's what you're going to be looking at here. Mine looks like that, and that is the clasp basically that's going to be pulling this all together and making sure that when you take it off of your loom, this actually comes together and the elastics can connect. So what I do is, because you've got this piece here nice and stretched, you could stretch it a little bit more. The more you stretch it, the easier it is to put on the clip. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to put it right on the clip on the end here. And you just latch it right on. Make sure it catches. Oh. On there. Okay. And once you've got it on there, you can pull this entire bracelet right off. And it won't rip. These are pretty strong. Again, if you want to keep an eye on straight elastics, that's fine, but really, you're all good. And then right at the end, I like to leave the last one on and take your clip that you've already got attached at the end here. I'll zoom in here a little bit for you. You take your clip at the end here, and you're going to want to attach it to the end here. So what you can do is take that and stretch it out. Again, now you've got it a little bit stretchier. Makes it easier, especially for a guy with big hands like me, to clip it on. So I've clipped it on one. You want to clip it on both of these, and you can use your tool to help you out. Just get in here. Okay, and you've got it clipped on there. Oh, that was out of the picture. And you pull the rest of this off, and you're all connected. And what you've got is a pink and red zigzag bracelet. You can do that with any colors at all. You can mix them one to the next. You can go zigzag. You can do all the same color, but that is your first step at building bracelets with a loom. Don't forget to subscribe to get all kinds of new videos and take a look at some different crafts that I'll be doing all the time. We'll start to take a look at different bracelets, some fancy ones, some different colored ones, and some things that aren't even bracelets. So stay tuned and you'll see a lot more from Craft Daddy. Thanks for watching.